Sister Wives Kody Brown's ultimate date at his own failure. While Sister Wives star Kody Brown has had a rough few years, it has been difficult for him to take accountability in his relationships. Seemingly, he still holds to some of the beliefs that he had in the early seasons of the show. But he recently made the ultimate dig at his own failures. Kody Brown frequently denies his part in the divorces. In the latest episode of Sister Wives, Kody Brown is sticking to his guns that he never had a favorite wife while he was practicing polygamy. After Mary Brown's friends mentioned the marriage went downhill after Robin joined the family, Kody is quick to deny it. In a confessional he holds to, "My attitude never changed when Robin and I got married." Then he insists, "So anybody who tries to say that I favored Robin with time or anything like that is just going off of a recency bias." However, as the episode continued, he came clean about his feelings by saying the ultimate dig about his failures. Robin could get her dream vicariously through her daughter. Later in the Sister Wives episode, Robin Brown sits down to talk to Brianna and Aurora about getting back into a church community. Brianna is very interested in finding guys who have similar beliefs so she can date. When Robin mentions there isn't a branch of the AUB in Flagstaff, AZ, or any church she knows that promotes polygamy, Aurora speaks up. She carefully lets her mom know she isn't called to live a polygamous life. Although Brianna struggled to tell her mom, she essentially said she wasn't interested right now. It left the door open for Robin to get warm fuzzies about Brianna possibly following the calling to have a plural marriage like she initially dreamed. Her takeaway from Brianna was that there's a chance. Robin says if Brianna got a testimony, she would be okay with that. She also understands it might not happen for her. Seemingly, Robin blames the individuals in their union, not the concept of polygamy. She causally makes it seem like whatever will be fine. But Kody Brown has another view about his daughters living plural lives. Kody Brown's ultimate dig at his own failure. However, Kody Brown on the flip side doesn't see any promise of polygamy to carry on. He says, "I don't think any of my kids are going to live in a plural marriage." Undoubtedly, he is shaken after 3 wives left in less than 3 years. Admittedly, Kody knows he failed at living with 4 wives. He says, "I don't think the experience they've had with our family would make them want to do that." Furthermore, he takes a dig at the whole reason Sister Wives got its start. He adds, "So I really wouldn't care to have my daughters in plural marriage." In the first season, the family was ready to show proof to the world that plural marriage was a fantastic union. They declare that love should be multiplied, not divided. By season 19, Kody isn't sure about his faith anymore. Unmistakably, completely jaded, he isn't confident his daughters, Aurora and Brianna, would be happy sharing a man with another woman. But he thinks the only way it would carry on is if one of his daughters wants to marry a married man. The weathered mountains of Flagstaff stood as silent witnesses to Kody Brown's unraveling, their jagged peaks mirroring the fractured relationships in his once-united plural family. It had been months since the final echoes of Cristin's departure settled, and the wound left behind refused to heal. But today, Kody had something he hadn't possessed in years: clarity. He leaned back in his favorite recliner, a chair that Mary had bought him years ago when they were still a team, still dreaming of a sprawling family where every member felt loved and equal. That dream now felt like a cruel joke. He rubbed his temples, his curls disheveled and streaked with silver, a testament to the stresses of navigating 4 marriages and now, essentially, none. "I need to make a statement," he muttered to himself. His wives had always accused him of loving the limelight more than them, and maybe they were right. The idea had been gnawing at him ever since his last tell-all interview. He needed to own up to his failures, but not just to the world, to himself. And if he was going to do it, he was going to do it on his terms. To anyone watching this, he began, his voice tinged with a bitterness he didn't bother masking. "I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I've failed. I've failed as a husband, as a father, and as a leader. But if you think I'm the only one to blame, you've got it all wrong." Kody's eyes burned into the lens, daring it to challenge him. When Cristin left, people called her brave. They said she was taking her power back, and maybe she was. But let's not pretend that I'm some tyrant who crushed her spirit. She'd been checked out for years, and you all saw it. The cameras caught every eye roll, every sarcastic jab. I wasn't perfect, but neither was she. The words felt like bile in his throat, but he continued. "And Janelle, she's always been the practical one. She wanted stability, not romance, and I gave her that. I gave her the freedom to pursue her career, to build her independence, And yet, when things got tough, she walked away too. Kody paused, his hands gripping the armrests as if grounding himself. The silence in the room was deafening, save for the faint hum of the heater. "And Mary," he said, his voice softening. "What do I even say about Mary? She was my first, the one who believed in this dream with me. But somewhere along the way, we stopped believing in each other. The catfishing scandal didn't break us, it just exposed the cracks that were already there." He let out a bitter laugh. "Then there's Robin. Everyone thinks she's my favorite, my queen. But let me tell you something, being the last one standing isn't a prize. It's a burden. She's the one who has to deal with my broken pieces, my regrets, my failures." Kody's gaze dropped, his bravado faltering for the first time. "Do you know what it's like to watch your family fall apart and know you're the common denominator? To see your kids, your own flesh and blood, choose sides? I thought I was building something eternal, something divine. But all I've done is hurt the people I love most." The admission hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Kody reached for the glass of water on the side table, his hand trembling. He took a sip, gathering his thoughts. "I wanted to be a great man," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I wanted to show the world that plural marriage could work, that it could be beautiful. But the truth is, I got lost. I got lost in the power, the control, the attention. I stopped listening to my wives, to my kids, to God." Tears welled in his eyes, but he blinked them away. Kody Brown didn't cry, at least not publicly. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," he said, his voice hardening again. "I don't deserve it. I'm just asking for understanding. For years I've been painted as the villain, and maybe I am. But villains have stories too. They have wounds and regrets. They have reasons for the choices they make." The camera's red light continued to blink, capturing every raw emotion, every unfiltered word. Kody took a deep breath, his chest rising and falling as if the weight of his confession had physically exhausted him. "To my wives, my kids, and even to the fans who followed our journey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused, for the dreams I've shattered. But I'm also grateful. Grateful for the lessons, for the love we shared, however fleeting it was." He leaned back, the tension in his shoulders easing slightly. "This is my ultimate dig at my own failure," he said, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Acknowledging it. Owning it. Because if I can't do that, then what was any of this for?" Kody reached over and turned off the camera. The room plunged into silence once more, but this time it felt different. It wasn't just empty, it was cleansing. For the first time in years, Kody felt a sliver of peace. He had faced his truth, however painful it was. And maybe, just maybe, that was the first step toward healing.